very disappointed at how many microscopic particles are generated from these plastic cutting boards. Microscopic plastic particles do get in the food. And I'm learning more about kitchen knives and how to keep them in top shape. So we'll discuss that and how the cutting boards affect the knife. My priorities are sanitation of the board, being able to clean it, eliminate bacteria and such, and eliminating these plastic microscopic particles which could end up in food, and also to minimize the dulling of the knife blade. So those are the priorities. So the first to discuss here is, these are more like mats than boards, and I found these on, Amazon, they're on eBay, they're available in a number of places. And the description of them was confusing because on the one hand they say they're silicone and then sometimes they say they're plastic. So what's the answer? Well, the answer appears to be both. This top surface looks like it's a plastic, so I'm not sure if these are going to get me the results I want, because this may be more plastic problem, right? But the bottom here is this beautiful silicone rubber that really sticks. The whole surface is covered with this sticky surface. All right, so I washed this and let's see what happened. Oh, absolutely. The knife absolutely did slicing into the surface. So I'm not sure if this mat is going to give me what I want, because it's still plastic and the knife is still slicing. The Japanese versions of this, they use rubber boards a lot in Japan, and they're very expensive. I decided to buy this less expensive one to try, and if I like the rubber surface, then maybe I'll go ahead and spend the money to buy one of the nice Japanese boards. So I'm having quite a bit of trouble with this surface here. It's so sticky. So this surface is interesting. It does not slice, which is very interesting. So when you come down, it tends to grab the knife more than the other boards. It's not a slippery surface, it kind of grabs, but the knife is not cutting the surface, which is really fascinating. So there's no cut marks from the work I did. It's got a little texture to it, so you'll want to scrub it, good. It might be let me look at the label. Yes, it is dishwasher safe. So I have a Santu knife, right? So you tend to do more chopping action. I think this would probably work good for that. And of course, a cleaver, this may not be the right surface for that. You're probably on wood with a cleaver. So next up is bamboo. So what do we know about bamboo? Well, bamboo is one of the strongest woods available. If you have purchased wood floors in your home, you'll know they always brag about how the long grain bamboo is one of the strongest woods available, and that is true. So is this going to be too hard for a knife? Is it going to dull the knife? I don't know. Now notice how this board is moving around. I do not like that at all. This thing is sliding on the countertop. That is not good. It's got a little bad spot on it. We'll get rid of that. And this is for the chef. See if we can. Yes, you can slice it. So it's wood. It's. Oh boy, that is harder than the plastic that I had. I'm curious what that's going to do to my knife blade. So it would be a hand wash, and then occasionally you'd want to oil this. I don't have any problems with the bamboo, except if I were to do this, I would have to have a big heavy one with maybe some rubber feet to hold it in place, because it just wants to slide around. Okay, next up here we have an end grain acacia wood. Now you notice with the bamboo, we were going long grain, right? So the wood is, the tree grows like this, right? And so long grain is known to be a harder material than end grain. So here we are cutting into the fibers, so you can see the grains of the tree there. So that's what they did. So acacia wood is known to have some antibacterial properties, and in this book, this is a reference. And then also in the Bible, it's interesting that in ancient times, the use of acacia wood was specified in some places where blood was going to be. The antiseptic characteristics of acacia wood were known thousands of years ago. So here's some nice rubber feet on this. So now I'm going to chop up some peppers for my project. You see how I have the sink there? I just kind of flip stuff into the sink, and then I, at the end of my cooking project, I get my hands in there and pull out all the big chunks, put them in the trash can, then run the leftovers down the disposal. I did get my paring knife out. We're going to just take out that center. Let's get to slicing here. Okay, the knife definitely slides better on here than it did on that rubber mat, that's for sure. Yes, yeah, the knife blade does cut into it, as expected. I mean, we kind of expected it would, right? And, but not much. So this is a little bit harder wood than I actually was expecting. So we're end grain, which would imply softness, but it's a pretty hard wood. This is all the rage now, right? Titanium board, get a titanium board. It's super sanitary, blah, blah, blah. But a couple of problems with that. One is, as I already mentioned, even titanium metal has microscopic pit holes in it. So in theory, you could have bacteria in liquids and such that would retain in the knife and gunk it up. I think this is one of the reasons that even in restaurants with stainless steel, they go ahead and they use bleach or whatever to try to kill germs on surface as well. So that's a good practice. So this idea of metal against metal, there's other videos. I did not choose to measure that, but it just rolls this edge over. It's just like taking this edge and rolling it over. So instead of being a sharp edge, it's, you know, it's a dull rolled over edge. And of course, a steel, not a sharpening stone like I have, but a steel is what you'd use. You would run it off the edge that way to unroll it, right? But one of the videos I saw, the guy, after just one cut, one cut, his knife was noticeably duller after just one slice. So I do not recommend the titanium or stainless steel, even though they may, in theory, be easier to clean than the others. Now there are some glass cutting boards available. We actually had one years ago, and the same thing. It's just like the steel boards, where it was rolling over the edge of the blade and made it dull. But that probably is the one that would be the most easy to clean. This is my winner. And that takes us to the acacia wood. I think this is my favorite of what I have here. It's a fairly substantial little board. You know, you can get bigger ones of these, of course. It's the end grain, which is supposed to be easier on the knives. It's pretty hard. You can feel that the knife does cut it some, which is great, right? Because you want the wood to give instead of your blade to automatically just round over and get dull. So a little bit of cutting into this is good. Wood is known techniques for washing it, sanitizing it. Occasionally you need to oil it. And this rubber is second. I want to experiment with this more. The rubber, I liked it. You don't get a good sliding effect with your knife, but the knife does not cut in. Have you ever taken a balloon, and you can take a knife on the edge of a balloon and actually kind of move it, and the balloon moves and doesn't pop? It's the same effect here, where I think the rubber is flexing and moving a little bit as you're doing your slicing action, so it's not cutting. I think it's more moving the rubber. This is interesting. Definitely, this is definitely on the short list. Yeah, my second favorite today. My life totally changed when I discovered how much God loves me. God loves you too. Embrace Him. Have a great day.